Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Destinies. We are on the second day of the trial for Turnabout Academy, aka case number 3 of this game. Still feeling a little bit under the weather, so pardon me if my voice sounds a little off today, but let's continue on, right? The show must go on. Even though I want to play Professor Layton Nazarene Legacy right now. Were you able to sleep last night?
Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours.
Good morning, you two. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back, and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same. In other words, the recording's a fabrication. Welp. The lab is continuing their study on the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Oh, what the? Who's there? Wait!
Did you see who that was?
No, I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping.
I wonder if he saw our hand.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one who just now. I bet Robert and Boxgrove were listening in too. I will make sure they don't make a run for it. This is my final gift to you. Ja? Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. I'm sorry. Just the way that I had a Persona flashback for a moment there. Time for a mini Cords of Steel workout. I am Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes, and I'm fine. Sorry. That just gave me a moment of flashing back there of Persona. Really, reach out to the truth. Oh my god. I don't know why, but I never noticed that dialogue before. Things you notice when you actually read stuff aloud. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched! I mean, the defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready as well. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell? Yes, well, moving right along, yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody, understood? You say that now. Your baldness. Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confession. But later, I shall grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now, about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling detective who overlooked that, he is paying for his failure as we speak.
Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with his body parts intact.
But if that's the case, then what will we... The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from the art room to stage, and I mean to prove it here this day.
It's just like Detective Fulbright said, but what else does he have up his sleeve?
My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the blood stain. Blood was found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say the body was carried over to that very window. And from there, it was dropped from the maintenance area below, down to the maintenance area below. And though there was not a scratch to the body aside from the fatal wound, That too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a ball cart was used to hold the body over to the edge. Have you found said ball cart?
That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way.
Objection!
Your pomposity to spill forth words before you think is not very clear either.
Why, you...
Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness! It's time for you to come forth. Is it Hugh? It is Hugh. Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at Themis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday, I told that lawyer there that I would testify to the truth. So I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes? What's he up to now?
The court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now your testimony, please. Witness testimony! As I covered the yawn I just did. Oops.
The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading towards me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that.
Uh-huh?
The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client? Ugh, never a snappy comeback when I need one.
He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible. To protect the students from who had to climb up high when setting up the stage, a mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse.
Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put the mat away after they used it?
Objection!
Oh, there is plenty wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body.
Ah! It sucks being the last person to know everything.
I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by the mat. If only the mat at that thickness was where the body is assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to this case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena?
It's game on, Hugh. Game on! I'm gonna turn your arrogant, perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure!
She's got a score to settle with you. Excuse me. Alright, so we gotta present the setup photos at the part where he was watching from a vantage point, because that can't be possible. Because, if you remember from the photo, there was a fence in the way.
Objection! So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area? Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background there?
Why, yes. In fact, there were a bunch of those next to my house until a few days ago, too. It was so noisy back behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest.
Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now, let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage drop.
Oh my! But the scenes would have been completely in the way.
Yep. That's right! Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point.
Youch! Order! Order! Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to this court?
The screen? Right. It must have slipped my mind. What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally as big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth readers have. And the genius level lapses of memory that people like me have. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already?
Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the lapse of memory?
That's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen. You are testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind this court, the back of the stage is not visible from the front. In actuality, to actually see our client behind the stage from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor.
Here! Youch! Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
Alright, golden boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest.
The truth? What truth?
The fact that Golden Boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage.
Objection! But... how? But then the screen would have blocked his view of...
Objection!
On the ground, yes, his view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think...
something on the other side of the screen? Something high enough to see the stage? No way! This crane right here? But I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial.
Me either. But it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body.
Hold it! That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember, you promised!
I recall making no such promises. It was you who came blithering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information.
Ah. What's all this about? A promise? Is this about whatever Blackwell is using against him?
And what's it got to do with going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up in that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds. What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane?
Objection!
The witness... I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane.
Hold it! Actually, there just might be something that proves you did.
What?
If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site for the previous day, too.
Is this what you're thinking of, Athena?
Yep. As the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor.
Are you serious? This is ridiculous. How very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is as ridiculous as the witness maintains.
The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light.
That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that?
The person in this photo has one really distinguishing feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify the person in this photo as the witness by examining his neck. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck.
Why, yes, you can see it right there. But then, are you saying you mean to...
Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy.
You are a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off.
Yeah! What's the big deal? Now let's see your neck.
This could all be taken the wrong way, man.
Guess I have no choice.
I love how dramatic this is. Oh my.
So, where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask?
I didn't buy it. It's handmade and there's only one like it in the world.
Well, it sure looks like the neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed?
You are one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school. But when you factor in all of the required test and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane?
Oh, about that. You see, I'm a genius, so, you know.
Objection!
Let us dispense with this inane charade, golden boy.
Hold it. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, please, don't!
High school seniors are 19 at most, thus they failed to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor?
Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right?
No, don't, please! Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school.
Wait, come again?
Take a gander at the official school enrollment documentation. 'Tis all right there. Ah! Youch! 25? You mean he's older than me? A 25-year-old high school student? Dude, he's the same age as me. Well, he will be still the same age as me until the recording comes out public, because by then I'll be 26, so... a 7-year break. 7 years. I've just had one thing to say. There are two kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breeders take, and the genius kind people like me take.
Objection! But a genius would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break!
I think you have that backwards, Athena. Even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row.
Only Hugh could get away with using only like that.
Enough of this jib-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as in the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me?
As long as a mat was used to move the body, Junie's going to be under suspicion.
Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start.
Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor?
Yes, Miss Sykes.
I've got it! I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head! A little conjecture has never stopped us before.
Interesting.
Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane to...
excuse me, move the body.
The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like this, like in the script. At least, that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish.
Oh boy, don't do that. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. Are you sure about this?
The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
You think, Blackquill probably saw that too, Athena? Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter. Save that it does not bode well for you.
Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap?
Watch this.
I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that's a ketchup stain.
You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I have already verified this with the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say.
So, how did you hurt it?
I see no need to discuss that. It has no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane.
Now I'm the fool?
Rubble. I planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead.
Ah, and here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for.
Now that the defense sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. The body was dropped out of a 3rd floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See, I've been paying attention. Well done, your baldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat. Ergo, it was she who moved the body. Rubble. Well, I think you were on the right track, Athena.
You do?
Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. And as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved.
But... Oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane?
Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, this court would love to hear it, and if you do not, it is time for the verdict. Is that correct, your baldness?
Objection! No, not yet! All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was on the script, right?
Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case. There is a sword of great renown that cuts down sophisticated lawyers. Its name is evidence. Excuse me.
You don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it.
What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped.
How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage.
Putting the pieces together.
Someone could have easily used that thing.
Oh, yes, of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us.
All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used.
No, don't do that. I believe I have to present... Not the school... I think not the burnt fragments. I think it's just the school banner first.
Take that! The key here is the thing that ties the art room to this and the stage together.
Might I propose an idea? It might do well to tie your lips together lest you further expose your ignorance.
This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackwell. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run to or reel in the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down from the stage via this wire.
Objection!
Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high-wire act. The body surely would have fallen. Yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection! Oh, you sure surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that.
I'm sure that's exactly what he thought.
When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried?
Well, go on, please explain.
The body was bundled into a pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat.
I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying?
Objection!
I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high-wire act.
If you have any actual objections, then just come out and say it.
I trust you recalled the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. Is it the victim's blood, though? Ergo, the wire and banner had not at all to do with this case.
Oh. The bloodstained pottery. I remember that.
This doesn't look good. We'll be back to the mat theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time than a circus act.
If my wire theory is true, then that blood on the pottery must have not been the victim's blood. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from?
Shame on you, Sykes Dono. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Constabulary. Blah. Blah blah. Ugh. Fulbright! Fulbright! Looks like they didn't check it.
And don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes.
Spare me your cheek. We will know not either way till the test are run.
True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can.
Your boldness. I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant. Of course, it shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. We're history if it turns out to be the victim's blood.
Please, please let it be someone else's.
Excuse me. It seems the blood was not from the victim. What? Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved with this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor.
Well, actually that's probably a good place to stop right there, since we're at the 30-minute mark. And we're gonna find out why Hugh's blood is in the art room in the next video. So I'll see you guys then.